Welcome back to Focus on Manufacturing, and the conversation is going to shift now to the money, which is how much are people making in what I would call sort of advanced manufacturing jobs. And I'm going to throw out a number that's from a state study that I think was 2014, where they suggested that the median wage, including benefits and so forth, for jobs in advanced manufacturing was in the high $70,000 range, which is really astounding when you compare that to other career paths that folks are considering. Can you tell us a little bit about sort of the perception and the reality of those kind of earnings? And
Sure. So we're definitely in that competitive range when it comes to the fully burdened or fully loaded cost of having an employee, so their salary and also their benefits and the things that we bring to the table. So absolutely, that's the competitive salary that we offer in that range. Mm-hmm. And that would be starting for manufacturing on the shop floor and working their way up. So there's only really room to grow at that point, on top of opportunities for overtime or for education reimbursement, also some charitable giving benefits as well to the employees. So it is competitive. It's not something that you're walking out of school and making $8 or $9 an hour anymore. It's a significant wage that can be a real life wage for you, even starting out from school. Mm-hmm.
And so Saint-Gobain's large organization, Bill, do those opportunities apply to most sort of smaller and medium-sized manufacturers as well?
I can speak for Lampen.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. We need to be just as competitive as Saint-Gobain does, because in some cases we're trying to attract the same quality of folks with the same skills. So it is regardless of our size how we set our rates. And in Lampen, we have an extremely rich benefit program because of the fact that we've been successful. So we can offer our machinists sizable compensation in the range of $50,000 to $80,000 a year. Now, in addition to that, because we're an ESOP, people get to earn shares in our company over a period of time. And most of those people, if they're there for a long enough period, will end up with a six-figure retirement account totally as a benefit. They don't have to pay into that at all. So there's a lot of money to be made in manufacturing. We need the best people we can find because of the level of precision and accuracy that our company needs to perform at. And we are absolutely willing to pay for that commitment, and we do.
So the perception shouldn't be from some young person that they start off at that wage, but clearly there's a track ahead where they can be earning that and earning a good, solid living.
Yeah.
So misperception, I can't make very good money, and I can. Other misperceptions that you hear sort of about the industry that you really wish could be dispelled?
Probably the biggest one for me is that it's not a place for women, or really of anyone diversity. There's a particular demographic that's associated with manufacturing, and that's not true. Certainly women are not as high a percentage as men are, but Saint-Gobain especially is really focused on diversity, not only of men and women or gender, but related to their ethnic background and their thinking process. A diversity of thinking brings a new opportunity to satisfy customers, because they're also consumers at the end of the day. If you can think like your consumers because you are their consumers, you're able to essentially make what they want in the future, not just for today. So I have enjoyed manufacturing, I very much do. I think that in my case, my demographic being a woman, I bring a certain amount of difference to the way that I communicate and the way that I lead relative to other people. I also look at problems in a different way. But again, you collaborate with one another. It's not about the demographic that you're bringing to the table. So certainly that's one. I think the other is probably the level of safety. Manufacturing strives to be as safe as possible. It's not an old, dirty, dangerous industry any longer. Right. It's a very high-tech industry with a lot of high-precision equipment, and it's a very safe environment. We pride ourselves on being as safe as possible for our employees. They go home with all their fingers and toes. They go home to their kids and are able to give them a hug at the end of the day. It's not about putting people at risk anymore, whereas maybe 10 to 20 to 30 years ago, that was a misconception that was on the floor.
Understood. Bill, did you want to add one to that?
We're the same way. I mean, we want to attract anybody that has an innovative mind And it really doesn't, it cuts across gender. We'll hire people with disabilities as long as they can think and they can perform the job. We're excited to have them.
Understood. So I want to thank our guests today, Nicole Z. from Saint-Gobain Super Abrasives and Bill DiBenedetto, president of Lancome Corporation. And I also want to get one more take from Jay Ash, who just sort of talks a little bit about the advantages that state leadership sees for the manufacturing industry in Massachusetts, and wrap up with that. But thank you again for coming in.
We're excited about manufacturing coming back to Massachusetts. We see an effort starting up in the federal government, leading in the state government and working with local communities that is onshoring manufacturing to the United States and to Massachusetts. We feel the advantage that Massachusetts has is around our research and development. The way that we think about manufacturing, the way that we turn those thoughts into commercialized products that can make a difference in the manufacturing plants and throughout the entire ecosystem that supports product development. So we've been working closely with places like WPI, with Quinsigamond Community College here in Worcester, with the entire UMass system, with the MITs of the world, to focus on research and development. We just heard a tremendous presentation here about how important local development is going to be to the things that we are going to be using in the future. And we believe because of the research and development that we have, the smarts we have around making things better, stronger, more efficiently, we're going to be well placed to be not only competitive, but to be a leader in manufacturing going forward.